evening, viewers. Parliament has been witnessing a storm over the last few days over Manipur, with the opposition leaders demanding a discussion and insisting on the Prime Minister's statement on the floor of the House. Proceedings of the House were disrupted multiple times even today, with opposition members raising slogans seeking a discussion on Manipur. Responding to the opposition's demand, Union Home Minister has thundered in Parliament, reiterating that the government was ready for a debate on Manipur and had nothing to fear or hide. He in fact urged the opposition parties to rise above politics and create a conducive atmosphere for the discussion to take place. Home Minister also wrote to the leader of the Congress in the Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, and the Rajya Sabha leader of opposition, Mallikarjun Kharge, seeking their cooperation for allowing discussion on Manipur.
मैंने आज दोनों सदन के विपक्ष के नेता को पत्र लिखा है कि कितनी भी लंबी चर्चा के लिए मैं तैयार हूं। सरकार को कोई डर नहीं है। चर्चा जिसको करनी है मणिपुर पर, वो चर्चा करने आए। हमें कुछ छुपाना नहीं है। हमने दोनों विपक्ष के नेताओं को मैंने आज पत्र लिखा है। मैं कहता हूं कि जनता आपको देख रही है। चुनाव में जाना है, जनता के खौफ को ध्यान में रखे और मणिपुर जैसे संवेदनशील इश्यू पर चर्चा के लिए उचित माहौल सदन में बनाइए, ऐसी मेरी विनती है।
The opposition has tried to build pressure on the government ever since the viral video surfaced showing two women being paraded naked in Manipur. Parliament has been witnessing disruption and washouts since the beginning of the monsoon session on the 20th of July. Even outside the Parliament, opposition has been trying to up the ante. Yesterday, an overnight protest was held over the suspension of AAP MP Sanjay Singh, with MPs carrying placards reading "India" for Manipur.
It is not Mann Ki Baat. This Parliament has to be of discussion and debate, and the opposition parties in the first all-party meeting with Rajnath Singh ji, as itself we are told that we want a discussion on Manipur and we wanted Honorable Prime Minister to make a statement in it. And we have been asking for the past 4 days the same thing. We as opposition parties will use all our powers to make Prime Minister to speak in Parliament.
The BJP, meanwhile, has lashed out at the opposition, accusing them of using Manipur as an excuse to stall discussion in Parliament, asking what is the problem with the Home Minister of the country making a statement on the situation in Manipur, as it does fall under his domain.
जो गैर जिम्मेदारान व्यवहार है विपक्ष का, वो आप सबके सामने है। बार बार सरकार ने मेंटेन किया है कि वो इस विषय पर बात करना चाहते हैं और अपना पक्ष, उनका पक्ष सुनना भी चाहते हैं और अपना पक्ष रखना भी चाहते हैं, लेकिन संवेदनहीनता जो है वो तमाम तरफ चारों तरफ दिखाई दे रही है। खासतौर पर विपक्ष का व्यवहार उसको और स्टैंप लगा रहा है कि ये लोग ना तो महिलाओं के प्रति संवेदनशील है, ना देश के गरीब के प्रति संवेदनशील है, ना दलित के प्रति संवेदनशील है और ना ही ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज के प्रति संवेदनशील है।
सरकार के पास छुपाने के लिए कुछ नहीं है। हम मणिपुर पर जितनी लंबी चाहे विपक्ष चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं, लेकिन दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि विपक्ष हमेशा की तरह एक बार फिर चर्चा की मांग करके भागता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है। राजस्थान में जिस तरह के हालात हैं, छत्तीसगढ़ में जिस तरह के हालात हैं, वो हालात जब यहाँ सदन के पटल पर रखे जाएंगे, तब जिस तरह का चीचालेदार उनका होने वाला, उससे बचने के लिए वो इस तरह का जो है षड्यंत्र कर रहे हैं।
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us, we have with us Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, is with us. Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, also joins us. With us also is Mohammad Tauseef Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC. Also joining us is Dr. Sunil Singh, national spokesperson of the JDU. Vivek Sailas is national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Let me start with Mohammad Tauseef Rahman of the TMC. Mohammad Tauseef Rahman, what is being asked over here by the Home Minister? You would have seen the letters that he has written to both Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury and to Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. He is in a sense saying that this is a moment for the Parliament, which is a representative of the people of India, where all states, all regions have adequate representation, all citizens look up to the Parliament. It's the time for the Parliament to stand in solidarity with the people of Manipur. That message needs to be sent. Unfortunately, because of the disruptions, that's not happening. Your response to the Home Minister and what he has written to the two leaders?
Madhav, absolutely. You know, when he said that you have to think beyond politics and you have to rise above the politics, there's no doubt about it. We understand what he wants to say. But the problem, and unfortunately, the media always wants to portray Narendra Modi and Amit Shah more pious than the Pope. Now, there's the problem. Like, you know, they started speaking after 70 days. They were all mute. They had no options to talk except Bengal. Now Bengal is over, they don't want to talk about Manipur. Now if they have come today with yes, they want to speak the very other day on Manipur, of course the problem is solved. Now the problem is in last two general election. What happened in last two general election? Modi versus all, मोदी वर्सेस हु, मोदी को पार्लियामेंट लेकर जाना है, 2014 में यही था ना, that मोदी को पार्लियामेंट लेकर जाना है, मोदी को दिल्ली में बैठाना है. So is the opposition was asking too much? The only thing all the opposition, India, they were asking that Narendra Modi should come inside the parliament and speak. It is as simple as that. But he was not there. He was having a good time in US, Dubai, Egypt and back to India. The problem starts there. We are not opposing anything. If he comes tomorrow, and if he starts speaking, the whole problem will be solved and Manipur should be there in the lineup of action.
Sanju Verma wants to respond to you on that point.
Why should we listen to Amit Shah, Piyush Goyal, Rajnath Singh?
Okay,
let me complete. Because in 2014,
end of the day, you can't take away from the fact that Mr. Amit Shah is the Home Minister of the country, Tauseef. He as the Home Minister is perhaps the best qualified to respond on that.
Narendra Modi. Why not Narendra Modi? What is the problem? He is my Prime Minister. He is the Manipur's Prime Minister. We want to hear it from him. What is the problem? Is it some illegal thing? Is it not democratic? It's a democracy thing. Inside Parliament, outside Parliament.
Yeah.
Thank you. Madhav, first and foremost, I take strong objection to the absolutely ad hominem attacks on Prime Minister Modi. Look at the deplorable language of the TMC spokesperson. He says Modi was having a good time in the US. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? On television debates,
of course,
sometimes you say Narendra Modi is not only the BJP's Prime Minister but also our Prime Minister.
So much.
Please shut up now.
What's wrong with my language?
Shut up.
What's wrong with my language?
Shut up.
No. One second. Let's all be careful of our language. Let's be mindful. Let's not fly off the handle at each other. Sanju Verma and Mr. Mohammad Tauseef Rahman. Let's be a little mindful of our language on national television. Yeah, go on, Sanju Verma.
I will show the mirror to this man in the language that he understands. If you abuse the Prime Minister saying he was having a good time, I will rebut to you in the language that you choose to use. I will not be holier than thou.
Of course.
So please shut up and
I'm not backing out.
Sanju Verma, let's not fly off the handle for the second time. Let us be mindful. Let us be mindful. We don't have to be rude to each other or get into personal jibes. Let's not do this.
What I'm saying, I know what I'm saying.
Let me complete, Madhav. May I please?
Yeah.
May I please?
Okay.
Thank you.
One at a time, please. Yeah. Sanju Verma first.
Thank you. Every single leader, right from the top to the bottom, has condemned what happened to those two Kuki women in Manipur. I've been in a zillion debates, and as a woman, forget about the fact that I'm the national spokesperson of the BJP. Madhav, why is this man heckling me?
Okay, the point is, Tauseef, you don't, nobody heckled you. Nobody heckled you, sir. Nobody heckled you. I think it's only fair that everybody be allowed to speak. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. You were given enough chance to make an opening statement. Nobody stopped you.
Thank you.
Nobody interrupted you. Please give the same courtesy to your co-panelist. Sanju Verma.
Thank you, Madhav. Thank you so much, Madhav. Now let me come in. And I repeat that everybody from the top to the bottom has condemned what happened in Manipur. And I continue to demand strictest punishment for those who indulged in that horrific, gang rape and molestation of a woman, parading them naked, openly in full public glare. Now the difference is this: while a Sanju Verma, while Prime Minister Modi, while everybody, right from even N. Singh, has said we demand strictest punishment on that horrific video which surfaced out of Manipur. Look at the contrast. Where Loket Chatterjee wept and spoke about two women being paraded naked, one from Kaliaganj in Malda and one from Panchala in Howrah. What was the response from the TMC? What was the response from the TMC? Mamata Banerjee mocked the victims. Mamata Banerjee mocked the victims. And Shashi Panja, the Women and Child Development Minister of Bengal.
No, we can all certainly we can all this can all come up during the course of discussion. Sanju Verma, I don't want to dilute the Manipur issue. Let's stick to the issue at hand, which is essentially Manipur and the Parliament logjam. Because there will be debates in Parliament. These issues will come up during the course of any debate. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. But let me bring in one second.
On the suspensions of operation in Manipur.
One second. But your party's handling of the incidents reported in West Bengal also is going to be questioned. Mr. Tauseef Rahman, your party's handling of the incidents in West Bengal also has to be questioned. Perhaps it can be a subject of discussion in Parliament as well. But the whole point is it has to be discussed, Tauseef Rahman.
That your minister in Bengal said, "Kapde nikal gaye."
From last 1 month, we are talking on Bengal violence. We never backed out. Why they are getting so much nervous with the name India only?
No, they are saying that we are allowing the Home Minister. The Home Minister is himself saying he is ready for a discussion.
Since the time India name has been launched, I am ready for discussion. Mamta Banerjee is ready for discussion. Abhishek Banerjee is ready for discussion. Tauseef Rahman is ready for discussion. We are not backing out. Why are you getting so nervous? Where is Narendra Modi? I want Narendra Modi inside the Parliament, not outside the Parliament. I want Narendra Modi's statement for half an hour, not 36 seconds. I want his statement. He has been appointed by the people of India. People of India has voted him. He is the Prime Minister of India. It was Modi versus all. Modi versus who? Now where is the Pradhan Mantri? He will not speak on Manipur. He will not speak on the rape. Why? He can speak on Bengal. What is the problem?
South Dinajpur gang rape.
We are ready to speak. We are ready to speak. Why are you backing out? Where were you all those 70 days? Madhav, I have a very common question. India wants to know, the nation wants to know, where was Bharatiya Janata Dal Party from last 70 days? They were only focusing in Bengal and Bengal elections.
Okay.
What is happening in Bengal?
All right. Let me come in now. We need to go across to other panelists also. We're 10 minutes into the debate. Other panelists also waiting very patiently. Let me quickly bring in. I see Tehseen's hand going up. Tehseen, the question is this. It's very simple. The point is an opposition's job is to hold the government to account. There's no two ways about it. I completely agree with that point that is being made by the Congress. But the point is this. If the citizens of this country have and look up to Parliament to have discussion on, unfortunate incidents, the scale of the violence in Manipur, for instance, we are none the wiser today as to what the government's own position is, what the centre has done, for instance, as far as this violence is concerned. And that will only happen when there is a discussion on this issue inside the House. So by stalling a discussion on Manipur, at some level, is the opposition also doing a disservice to the people of Manipur? Is the question that Home Minister Amit Shah is asking through his letter.
That's a very rhetorical question that the Honourable Home Minister is asking, and that's actually a false question. So let me put the facts out as it is. बहुत हुआ नारी पे अत्याचार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार. The government belongs to Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So all that the opposition wants, all that it wants, is the Honourable Home Minister to answer every question, but the Honourable Prime Minister to come to both houses of Parliament and to issue a statement inside Parliament. Why is that unreasonable? The second thing that the opposition wants is a discussion under Rule 267, where you leave aside business for the day and discuss under Rule 67 specifically on Manipur. That does not take away from the violence on women, say in West Bengal, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. But none of these three states, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, are under a civil war, as is Manipur. So Manipur, a separate discussion. You can discuss the next day under 176, discuss Chhattisgarh, discuss West Bengal, discuss women's safety, discuss Rajasthan. I think it is a must and it should be encouraged. The third thing, the Honourable Home Minister went to Manipur on 29th of May. This horrific video came out on the incident happened on the 4th of May. On the 4th of May, when the Honourable Home Minister was in Manipur, he had no clue, neither did the Honourable Chief Minister, whose tweets, by the way, the PMO made him delete, the PMO made the Chief Minister delete his tweets, had briefed the Home Minister about what has happened in Manipur. So the Home Minister, poor fellow, had no clue. Therefore, we want the Prime Minister, the head of our government, to address us as citizens. The last point about it. Look, the Chief Minister has completely failed. Tell me another instance, Madhav, and I have a lot of respect for you. In any state where there was insurgency, where 4,000 600 AK-47 56 and 6,800 live ammunition has been taken. The mobs that took it left their Adhir card. This is very, very serious, and therefore Manipur requires a separate discussion. Everything else can be discussed the next day with a statement from the Prime Minister. He's my Prime Minister. I want him to just make a statement. What is so
three or four things that make Manipur qualitatively different in the scale, in terms of the actual terms of engagement, in terms of the arms being looted, whether it's 4,000, 6,000, that can be debated, but there's large-scale looting of arms from government forces, of security forces, and that as well as the incidents that are coming to fore, and only some of them have come to the fore because of videos. There are over 6,000 FIRs that have been filed, Sanju Verma, and therefore this merits the Prime Minister coming and speaking in the House, is what Tehseen is saying. Please respond to it.
Is that for me, Madhav?
Yes, Sanju Verma, question for you.
Thank you. Madhav, since, Tehseen quoted some data, he needs to know that between 2004 and 2014, 772 civilians died in Manipur. That number in the last 6 years, because the BJP came to power in 2017, stands whittled down to 122, a 6.3 times fall, a 630% reduction. The number of incidents of insurgency between 2004 and 2014 under an utterly incompetent Congress government were 4,763. The number of insurgency incidents are down by 300% to 1,602 under the double engine Sarkar of Modi government in the last 6 years. And now, last but not the least, the number of army jawans killed from 2004 to 2014 in Manipur alone was 219. That number is down 300% to 71. Every life is precious.
Madhav,
so saying that the number of people killed now has come down. I'm not trying to condone that, but data is being given to show the mirror to the Congress. But I have just this to say, Madhav, I will take only 20 seconds. Who signed the 1985 Assam Accord to give rights to indigenous Assamese? It was done when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. Who signed the Mizo Accord in 1986? It was Rajiv Gandhi who was the Prime Minister.
Right
when was the Bodo Accord signed? It was when Narasimha Rao of the Congress was the Prime Minister in 1993. When was the Tripura Accord signed? It was in 1988 when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. But, Madhav, 10 seconds.
No, but Sanju, I'm just going to come in here. There is no doubt. There's a long history behind what has happened at that point of time, and there have been successive governments for decades in Congress rule, etc. But the current crisis has happened after 6 years of BJP rule. Therefore, there are some serious questions, and if the government is being held to account, then certainly, of course, it is due to whatever acts have been committed over the last 6 years that would have led to this situation.
There's a legacy issue, Madhav, which cannot be ignored. And I want to ask you one thing, Madhav. When you sit here and talk about Manipur, let's not forget that barring what has happened in the last 3 months or 2.5 months, the last 6 years under Biren Singh and Narendra Modi have been the most peaceful in Manipur's history, with 6 districts in Manipur and 15 police stations in Manipur completely rid of the ASPA. Whereas under the Congress...
But we are in a situation where your own MLA, Mr. Haukip, is actually pleading for AFSPA to be brought in for a limited time. In fact, many hands going up over the moment. Let me quickly go across to Tauseef Rahman. Yes, Tauseef, you want to rebut her? Very quickly, 30 seconds, then I go across to Vivek Sailas as well as Dr.
Madhav, United People's Front and Kuki National Organization, they were being promised of suspension of operation. Then why the BJP government stopped the suspension of operation where Modi government promised in 2007 assembly election that everything will be fine between these two things and suspension of operation will be there? Then why it has been withdrawn? Answer me this, I'll be quiet for the whole debate. Why the SOS has been withdrawn right now? Why?
Madhav,
please answer.
Yeah,
Sanju ji,
I'll
zip my mouth. I'll zip it.
Madhav, and you now zip it. Because to the best of my knowledge, and you are a past master at deception, subterfuge and peddling false checks, the suspension of operation agreement so as to ensure a ceasefire between all stakeholders, particularly the ongoing violence between the Kukis and the Mighties, the suspension of operation compromise continues. Who told you it has been suspended? Who told you it has been suspended? Quote a source. Quote a source. Quote a source. Don't keep saying PA
was initiated
Who
by
told you
Narendra Modi
suspension
and
of
BJP
Operation
government?
Compromise
How are you
has
saying
been
that?
suspended? Suspension of Operation Compromise continues, and I say
The
that
agreement is
openly on your
void.
channel today, Madhav. I say that
They were
openly.
only focusing on the
You
values.
are peddling a false narrative. You come to
Give me a
debates
proof.
with an agenda.
Just
You
give me one
bigot.
proof that it has not been
Okay,
written.
okay, there's some breaking news coming in. I just have to interrupt at the
No, no,
moment.
no.
There's some breaking news coming in. As far as tomorrow's parliamentary proceedings are concerned, there's a no confidence motion that, in fact, the opposition is going to be pushing through. This is what our reporters are telling us. And in fact, this is going to be signed tomorrow morning. Niyamika Singh is joining us for more on this. Niyamika, what are your sources telling you? What exactly are we likely to see happen tomorrow inside Parliament?
Well, absolutely, as this is a very big development for the monsoon session of Parliament, as it is being expected that tomorrow all of the opposition parties are going to move a no confidence motion against the government of India in Lok Sabha, as this was a proposal which was being made in today's opposition party meeting, which was being held today morning, and now it is being decided that tomorrow all of these India alliance parties are going to move a no confidence motion against the government, as all of these parties have been continuously raising a demand that there should be a proper reply on part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding the entire situation, the violence which is being continuing in the state of Manipur, and that is the reason why we are witnessing a continuous protest on the part of all of these opposition MPs, and that is going to be continued tomorrow. And even for that matter, the Congress party has also released a 3-line whip for all of these Lok Sabha MPs of the Congress party to remain present at 11 o'clock in Lok Sabha, and it is being
all right,
stated,
Niyamika, we'll come back to this
sources
story. We're certainly going to track all those developments. Big day perhaps in Parliament. We'll have to see what exactly happens and if this no confidence motion actually sees the light of day eventually, and what really, of course, will be the procedural issues that it would have to complete necessarily before it is accepted. Vivek Sailas, is offense the best form of defense? Now we're looking at opposition which is becoming more aggressive. You've been demanding that the Prime Minister in fact come into the House and speak on the issue of Manipur, and now a no confidence motion that is being moved by opposition parties. Are the numbers going to be on the side of the I.N.D.A. alliance? Vivek Sailas.
Yeah, very, very good evening to you, Madhav, and to the viewers. I think it's absolutely crystal clear. It's very, very, very absolutely clear that the Honorable Prime Minister should lead from the front. He's the leader of the country. He's my Prime Minister as well. The country needs at least a statement from him inside the Parliament. Because Manipur is just, it's not a state only that has a crime against women. It is a state that is almost at the verge of collapsing. That is the thing. And the more important thing is that Manipur is a border state, bordering Myanmar and almost China. So that is a very sensitive area, and the Honorable Prime Minister has to say something about it inside the Parliament. That is our demand. As far as Mr. Amit Shah is concerned, as my friend Tehseen said, he was there in Manipur on the 29th of May, but he could not even, he was not able to find what was actually happening in Manipur. And Amit Shah ji is not the leader of the House. The Prime Minister is the leader of the House. Amit Shah ji is a man, he's a home minister, but is a man who has already said that 15 lakh was a jumla. The people of India will not, will not have any confidence of him. As far as, Mr. Amit Shah is concerned, what he said today, let me complete, I'll just take 10 seconds more. What Mr. Amit Shah said today, Madhav, that we are ready to have a, discussion as long as possible. But he never said that we are ready to have a discussion under the Article 267. That is a point. And
it's Rule 267, by the way. Articles are in the Constitution. These are the rules of the House. But let me bring in Dr. Anand Raghunathan on that point. Yes. Dr. Anand Raghunathan, questions being raised as to whether the Home Ministry has handled it correct or not. And they are saying that ultimately, since it's an issue that could have potentially even international ramifications being a border state, the Prime Minister is the most appropriate person to address this large-scale violence in Manipur. Dr. Raghunathan.
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to my fellow panelists. I've been waiting for 25 minutes, so if I can please expect a courtesy of a couple of minutes of uninterrupted time from my fellow panelists. Thank you very much. Madhav, I'd like to very briefly make 2 points that I believe are very important, and I will deal with just facts. The first fact is that barring the recent eruption of Manipur, and it has been a horrible eruption of violence and strife, the data and all the figures are with the ruling dispensation, i.e. the BJP vis-a-vis the Congress. In the last 5 to 7 years, there is absolutely no doubt, and the data bears it, that Manipur has been much more stable and much more peaceful than it ever was, especially under the UPA. These are hard facts, which my friend even Tehseen would agree to. These are facts. When you talk about AFSPA, when you talk about the security personnel killed, when you talk about the tribal warfare that was happening in Manipur, on almost every parameter, in the last 5 years, barring the last couple of months, Manipur has been more stable than it ever has been. I'm dealing with just facts. Now, when you have this fact, I compliment Ms. Sanju Verma for listing out some of the data, hard data. But the fact of the matter is, when the data is with you, then I see no reason why you should not brandish it. The Prime Minister on the floor of every house, leave alone the Parliament. It is up to the BJP to go and tell the world this data, do the comparative analysis of UPA versus NDA in the last 5 years, because people should know the truth first. Number two, and here I would like Tehseen to answer as well. People should also know the truth that for the last 2 months, the violence that has broken, what is the real reason behind it? And when people know the truth, they will understand that it was the UPA in 2013 that wrote a letter to the Manipur government, state government that was ruled by the Congress, asking to find out that, please, can you tell us what is the position for giving scheduled tribe status to the Metis? For 4 years, the Manipur Congress government did nothing. Then the government at Manipur as well as the center changed. They also did nothing. 2 months ago, the High Court, Justice Muralidhar, who was the acting Chief Justice, he came up and asked the state government again, what is the status? Tell me about it. And that is the reason why the whole violence has erupted. It has got nothing to do with the BJP. Why is the BJP not willing to come and explain all these things on the floor of the House? These are hard facts, Madhav. I am not concocting anything. I challenge any panelist on this panel to tell me if I have
what you're
concocted
stating,
anything.
what
Tell
you're
me.
stating is what the Home Minister has also indicated in his letter. He said there were court judgments, but law and order is a state subject, whether we like it or not, Dr. Ranganathan, and that no state government, it's not just about Manipur, but no state government where such large-scale violence happens can escape its primary responsibility. Tehseen wants to respond to you on that. Yes, Tehseen.
I accept the challenge. My friend Anand has made one cardinal mistake, and then I will make one cardinal mistake that Sanju Verma made. The fact of the matter was that the Chief Minister of Manipur made some obnoxious, and I'm using this word with a lot of responsibility, tweets, which were then asked, the PMO asked him to delete it. That the High Court made an observation. It is the Chief Minister who put oil in the fire. Had he not done this, this situation wouldn't have gone on. Why was the tweet deleted? And adding to the tweets, let me quote what the Chief Minister said on June 19 to expose what the BJP is lying about. The SOO, or suspension of operations, the Chief Minister of Manipur says, and I quote him from the Times of India. He says, the SOO is in place, therefore the Kuki militants should put down their arms. I also request the mighties to put down their arms. Now, if the SOO was in place, the suspension of operations was in place, why did Sanju Verma come on your channel and say no, it was not in place? The fact of the matter was neither was the operation, the fact of the matter was the government was clueless, set it on fire, and
I said the SOO is in place. The SOO
just allow me.
Came about in 2008. 25 out of the 32 Kuki militant groups were supposed to be rehabilitated. But your Congress government slept on the SOO agreement. 25 out of the 32 Kuki militant groups.
Now, she's exposed herself. Now she's exposed herself. Hold on. She exposed herself.
The SOO stands.
Hold on. She exposed herself. Just 1 second.
Kuki militants are being encouraged to...
Sanju, he wants to respond to you. He wants to respond to you. Let him come in. Let Tehseen come in. Yeah. Tehseen, make your point. Quickly, then go across to Dr. Sunil Singh as well.
Okay.
No, he's lying.
Exactly.
I'll give you a chance to rebut him. Let's have a debate. Let him put his point across.
Please talk?
30 seconds to you, Tehseen, and 30 seconds to Sanju after that. Yes, quickly.
Thank you. Exactly. The condition for it being in place was the rehabilitation of the Kuki insurgents. Exactly. And that was not done. You went around calling them militants and you did not rehabilitate them. The deal that was signed was not fulfilled by you, despite the promises in the elections, and you put oil in fire. Therefore, those tweets are deleted. You just expose yourself on national TV. Do you not think and talk what you talk on national TV?
Okay, yeah. Sanju, now quick 30-second response from you.
Now listen to this very carefully, because you made allegations at me. In 2008, the suspension of operation agreement was signed, under which 25 out of the 32 Kuki militant groups were supposed to surrender. They were supposed to be mainstreamed. They were supposed to be rehabilitated. But from 2008, right up till 2014, when the Congress-led UPA was in power, the SOO was not honored. The suspension of operation agreement stands today. And let me tell you why this problem occurred. Because the Kukis continue to want a semi-autonomous region. And the Modi government does not want to agree to that. This is simply not about the Maitais wanting an Adivasi or a scheduled tribe status. The Kukis want a semi-autonomous region. The Nagas.
All right. Let me bring the issue back to Parliament, please. Certainly, Manipur is very important. There are many hands going up, but let me bring in Dr. Sunil Singh because very limited time. Tauseef, I'm sorry. I want Dr. Sunil Singh to come in on this. Dr. Sunil Singh, tomorrow a no confidence motion is being moved in the Parliament by the opposition parties. The larger question is this: that whether a debate should not happen. It will be the 5th day of the monsoon session. There is a limited number of sittings in this session, as we all know, less than 3 weeks even. Is it not incumbent and is it not for the people of Manipur to see a message that India stands strongly and stands firmly, the Parliament stands firmly with them at this hour of crisis?
Madhav, I thought that you forgot about me anyway. My turn came.
I didn't, sir. I apologize for keeping you waiting, but please go ahead. Yeah.
Is very important because Manipur is a bordering state. Manipur is culturally rich, and Manipur is one of the states which joined hands with India in 1948. So it's very important strategically, culturally, and that is the importance of Manipur. And why PM should give a statement? Look, Honorable Home Minister visited Manipur of no use, of nothing concrete happened. The rampant, the ethnic violence, the civil war continued. Women were paraded naked. Lots and lots of FIRs are still registered, and nothing is happening over that. Many women did not went to go to the police station because of fear of backlash. So there is total collapse of double engine ki sarkar, total collapse of law and order. And Honorable Home Minister literally failed because when he went there, he was not apprised of the situation that happened there. And the N. Singh should be...
Sanju Verma, let me make his point. He has just started speaking after half an hour. Please don't interrupt him. Just as you don't like others heckling you or interrupting you, let him make his point. You can, there can be responses to him after that. Yeah. Dr. Sunil Singh, make your point, please.
What my point is that Honorable Home Minister totally failed in... Home Minister totally failed in controlling the situation in Manipur. He visited Manipur and he was not even apprised by the situation of Manipur by N. Singh, the Chief Minister.
That's a point made by other panelists, but let me put that question across to Dr. Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, the panelist after panelist says that despite the fact that Home Minister was present in Manipur, the situation was not controlled and these ghastly incidents were perhaps not properly informed to him at that point of time, and that's why they want the PM to come in. They're seeking accountability. This is the argument. Dr. Ranganathan.
There is no doubt about it that the lackadaisical attitude of the centre as far as the last 2 months is concerned is of course a problem and has to be discussed, of course. Had the Prime Minister apprised himself or publicly said something about Manipur 2 months ago, I dare say we would not be in this situation that we are today. It is a fact. Let us admit it. But at the same time, let us also admit that all those people who are crying and shouting and saying that, oh, there is civil war, Manipur is about to break up, all those guys were completely silent when things were maybe dozens of times worse than what they are right now. Tehseen must answer that, take responsibility for that. Hasn't AFSPA been lifted from some districts in Manipur? Hasn't the situation improved there? Yes,
And that is why I believe, what is the harm in BJP and the Prime Minister coming to the floor and explaining everything? You have to explain this. Sir, I did interrupt you. Sir, I did not interrupt you at all. I also waited for half an hour. I understand you were the last one to speak, but please, sir, let us have the courtesy. What you say is, I partly agree with you. But I do not agree with you unless you were a fly on the wall when Amit Shah was talking to the Chief Minister, when you claim that the Chief Minister did apprise the Home Minister of something. How do you know that? Were you present in that meeting? So, just rumor mongering would not do. This is a very serious situation.
I'll answer that.
Please do not indulge in rumor mongering.
Okay, completely out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, on the first debate, Sanju Verma, Dr. Ranganathan, Tehseen Poonawalla, Mohammad Tauseef Rahman, Dr. Sunil Singh, Vivek Sailas. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. In fact, everybody will be watching what happens in Parliament tomorrow. Will there be a debate? Will there be a discussion? What happens to this no confidence motion? Because the numbers, at the moment at least, do they support the opposition? That's certainly a very big question. It doesn't seem to be the case. But what will happen inside the House, on the floor of the House, remains to be seen. Thanks so much for joining us on debate number 1.